Hi, my name is Rachel of Light ElemenTalismans and Light Elementals. What you see on the screen is a symbol of a gift that was given to some of us through time spent with the unicorns, the ascended unicorns in their realm prior to this lifetime. And this is just a representation of that gift, meant to help activate it, help attune you to the energies of it, and also to help us accept it, because there is a bit of a struggle in accepting this gift. So we're going to go on a bit of a journey here. I'm going to take you back to when this was first given to me. Was July 13th of 2021, this year. And I was speaking to Gwynedin, who is one of my guides, and she's a unicorn guide that I've had since I was a little girl. And I was speaking to her about, I was asking her advice if I should start a grief group. I lost my son in 2019, September of 2019. And I had not been able to find a group that I resonated with, that I felt comfortable with. And so this occurred to me to start my own. And so I spoke to Gwynedin about it, and also my son. So they were both with me. And Gwynedin told me right away, yes, you need to go ahead and start this group, and it's part of the reason why you came here and why you've had the life that you've had. And then she started talking about, she said, some of you have horns of light earned through your time with us, the ascended unicorns. Some of you have horns coming from your crown, and others of you have it at your third eye. And then I was shown a memory. My son showed me a memory of when he was little. He was about 5-6 years old. And I was actually brushing my hair, and he said to me, be careful of that horn, Mommy. Be careful of your horn. And I was like, horn? What are you talking about? And he said, you have this horn, and it's light. And I asked where it was, and he pointed to my forehead. And I said, okay, so what color is it? And he said, oh, right now it's blue, but it changes colors. And I said, okay. So I was delighted by this, and I asked him a lot of questions. But one of the questions I asked him was if he saw it on other people. And he said, yes, sometimes. Sometimes. And so they showed me this memory, my son and Gwynedin. They showed me this memory. And what I had always assumed was that he was actually seeing auras, which a lot of children do. And so I thought he was seeing auras, but he called it a horn because he didn't really know how to express it another way. And but what they showed me was that no, he was seeing the horn of light that was given to us by the unicorns. And what is this horn of light? The horn of light has several qualities, and it could be different for you. So whatever you start to sense at this point is very important. But one of the things that they told me that it has to do with an increased sensitivity. So this is kind of a blessing and a curse. Being extra sensitive, being super sensitive is very difficult. I will just say it's very difficult. And there are definitely times in my life that I wish that I could have a tougher skin, thicker skin, that I could, not take things so seriously, not feel things so deeply, not see things as clearly as I do at times. And if you are a sensitive person, you may also have those that wish that sometimes it could be taken away, or that you could, improve it somehow, that it wouldn't work all the time, or whatever. And so what they showed me is actually when we received this, they showed me the actual moment of the ceremony when we received this horn. And so this may resonate for you. For me, I was in a forest, and it was at dusk and or twilight, and so it was already quite dark. And the trees were so big, they looked like they were touching the stars. And there was a fire pit, and we sat around in it. I was sitting with a group of other souls, and we were surrounded by a group of unicorns. And the flames in the fire pit, I remember this quite distinctly. They were not like the flames that we have here. What here we have on Earth, we have orange and yellow and red and gold. And these were purple and turquoise and green and blue, a lot of blue, just beautiful, beautiful flames. And the unicorns gave us these light horns, and they placed them either on our crown, or they were placed on the at the third eye, on our foreheads. And so one of the things that these enabled us to do is that deep sensitivity that I already spoke about. But also when you activate it, and you can activate it consciously or unconsciously, depending on whatever your soul agreement is in this lifetime, whatever your contracts are, whatever your design is, you can activate this. And what it enables us to do is it activates a light portal around us. And that light portal, what it enables us to do is to walk through darkness without being touched by it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not emotionally affected by the darkness around you, but what it does mean is that it will not touch you. It cannot touch you. It cannot damage you. It can, of course, witnessing darkness. And when I say darkness, I mean suffering, violence, trauma, abuse, hostility. It can be anything from being in a war zone to witnessing a fight on the street. It can be being abused as a child. It can be being abused as an adult. So there's a huge, a broad spectrum of experiences that I would say fall under darkness, the shadow of life. And this is not a judgment, okay? This is just, there in this world that we live in, the 3D world, there is dark and there is light. So this horn of light, when it is activated, it allows us to walk through that darkness and not become a part of it. Okay? So, let's see. I'm just checking my notes here. Okay. then this was also the message that was given to me with this horn of light. And they spoke about purity. And when I say they, I'm talking about the unicorns. Okay. Strength comes from purity. The reason why you have got through everything you have in your life without bitterness, and with your humor, your kindness, your understanding and patience intact, is because of the purity of your love. The purity of your light. The unwavering purity of your light. You are so brilliantly brave, bold, and beautiful of spirit. And your horn of light is blindingly brilliant. It pierces whatever darkness you may encounter. And this light, when you pierce that darkness, this light can actually, for some people in our lives, it can actually hurt, because that light from that horn, it opens people's hearts. It touches on their hearts. And if their heart has been asleep, it's like your eyes in a darkened room. And when somebody opens the blinds, how it hurts. Your eyes will actually hurt. They kind of sting. And that is what it's like for other people when you turn on your horn of light and you shine that light. It can actually feel frightening to people. It can scare them a bit because it does hurt. And even though the pain is temporary, there's a lot of people who want to keep their hearts asleep. So that is something that we often experience. We often experience, people rejecting us, even though we feel like we've acted with integrity and honor and love. And people will run. People will have all kinds of crazy reactions to it. So that's part of it. That's why. Okay, so then they said, your light pierces the hearts of those who've let it sleep. So those who have let their hearts sleep. You have a special power. You have the power of purity. You have endured what you have in your life, all your experiences, your experiences of pain and loss and suffering, yet you are still here. You are still solid. You are still loving. And the unicorns would like to show you your core, your center, because it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It is a bright, white, shining light. And it can be encased in shadow, so it can be, the shadow can be suffering, it can be guilt, it can be fear, it can be a lack of esteem. So that shadow kind of surrounds your light. And what is happening right now, because of the horn of light, it is melting that shadow. So it's melting the suffering, it's melting any guilt or fear that you might have. It's melting it. And that light is so bright, you cannot keep it hidden. The shadow cannot survive that light. It has to recede. You are pure, you are innocent, you are beautiful, and you are whole. Precious heart, you are a rare gift, brave as you chose to be here, and you are so blessed because you are so loved. Imagine what you can do now that you know your true value. thank you for listening to my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And the unicorns are telling me that if this resonated for you, something about this feels familiar to you, or you feel drawn to it, that you have a horn of light. And at this point, it's just a matter of activating it, accepting it, attuning to it, mostly accepting it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have a chance to activate your horn of light, and that you don't let anything stand in your way. Thank you so much.